Today we're unlocking the doors to Tony Stark's true genius. He's a hero, but just like all of us, he's someone who made mistakes. What made Tony Stark Iron Man wasn't his money, his armor, or his fame. This is a story about how mistakes were masterfully transformed into power. You know what Americans say, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Well, Tony Stark is the living embodiment of that saying. Every fall was the beginning of a new rise for him. Now kick back and relax, because we're about to break down the 15-year evolution of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's smartest character. Let's dive in. The moment Tony Stark literally evolved. In Civil War, Ant-Man did something mind-blowing. He instantly shrunk down and went straight inside the armor. Yeah, you heard that right. Stark's most advanced armor was being sabotaged from the inside. Wires were snapping, systems were going haywire, and Tony was outside completely bewildered, yelling, "What the heck is going on?" This was the breaking point for Tony. Right then he realized there was a weakness in his armor. Just think about it. Even Iron Man's suit could be vulnerable. But Tony Stark wasn't that kind of guy. A weakness? That word wasn't in his vocabulary. The solution? Nanotech armor. That black and red suit spreading from the arc reactor in his chest in Infinity War. No holes, no gaps, no wires. Completely sealed. A perfect system. When I first saw it, I was like, this isn't science fiction, this is magic. But nanotech didn't just bring that. It brought so much more. Did he have balance issues in Sokovia? With nanotech, he instantly created stabilizers. He kept himself balanced while drilling through Ebony Maw's ship, working with one hand. Was the Hulkbuster's thrust power not enough? He added super powerful thrusters to his nanotech armor and easily pushed back Cull Obsidian, that giant creature, and knocked him down. Even Squidward was shocked. Remember that legendary scene? At the end of Civil War, in that freezing cold room in Siberia, Tony was face to face with Cap and Bucky. All 3 fought to the death. But even though Tony's armor was so powerful, something was missing. Close combat experience. Cap's shield, Bucky's metal fist, Stark's system was going into alarm mode. The armor could throw punches, it could shoot beams, but Tony walked into that room as a man, not as a warrior. What did we see in Infinity War? Instant swords, axes, hammers, shields from nanotech. Tony was now a Swiss Army knife. Those weapons he used against Thanos, first a shield, then a sword, then a hammer. Constant transformation, constant adaptation. Remember that scene in Iron Man 3 when Tony's house exploded and sank into the ocean? His armor was damaged. He was practically freezing in the middle of Tennessee. Right then he said to himself, no one should ever be this cold. And that's exactly why, years later, he installed hidden heaters in Spider-Man's suit. When Peter fell into the water on a mission and yelled, "It's so cold," Tony's response was ready. The suit should warm you up. Because Tony Stark always learned from his mistakes, literally. And it's my favorite. Whiplash's electric whips literally cooked the Mark V. When those electric whips tore through his armor and fried every circuit, Tony stopped for a second and said to himself, never again. That was the moment he truly lived the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Fast forward to the Avengers days, when he came face to face with Thor. Picture this, the skies cracking open, lightning flashing everywhere, Thor's furious and ready to strike, and Tony's up on the rooftop smirking like, hey big guy, maybe dial it down a notch, huh? Then, boom, a lightning bolt hits the Mark VI straight on. Jarvis chimes in, power levels at 620%, sir. 620%. The very thing that once nearly killed him was now supercharging his suit. Whiplash's electricity almost destroyed him. But Thor's lightning? It turned him into a powerhouse. Tony Stark's first real wake-up call wasn't just a trial by fire. It was more like a crash course in frozen physics. Remember that legendary Mark II flight test? The guy rockets into the sky like he owns it, breaking altitude records, Jarvis warning him left and right, and then boom, the suit ices over like a popsicle in space. Total system failure. Straight up gravity check. That was Tony's learn it the hard way moment. Watching him plummet from the clouds, I legit thought, "Yup, that's it. Stark's done." But then, miracle. The ice melts just in time, and Iron Man walks away breathing and wiser. Now here's where Tony's brilliance truly shines. Instead of quitting, he evolves. When he builds the Mark III, he swaps the metal for a gold titanium alloy. Not just because it looks flashy, but because gold handles heat like a champ. And let's be real, if anyone can afford to coat his armor in gold, it's Tony Stark. But the best part? He later weaponizes that failure. Fast forward to the showdown with Obadiah Stane. Tony lures Ironmonger sky high, lets the freezing air do its thing, and when Stane's screaming, "What are you doing up here?" Tony just grins. Problem with high altitudes. Ice takes over, systems lock up, and bam, game over. That's the Stark mindset right there. He doesn't just fix problems, he uses them. If you've made it this far, smash that subscribe button below and support me. It keeps me motivated to make even more videos for you. But the real turning point came in the Avengers. And honestly, this scene still gives me goosebumps every time I watch it. When Tony grabbed that nuke and flew it straight into the wormhole, he wasn't just being a hero, he was accepting death. Out there in space, his oxygen's running out, his body's freezing up. Pepper's calling him, the comms are dead, and for a few seconds, Iron Man is completely alone. As the portal started to close and Tony dropped back toward Earth, everyone watching was like, "No, no, no, don't you dare die on us." And that's when Tony learned one of his biggest lessons. Never rely on just one plan, one suit, or one system. The guy literally took, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket," to heart. If he couldn't control the armor had to control itself. That moment sparked the idea for the Iron Legion, those dozens of autonomous suits we see in Iron Man 3. As people say, hindsight is 20/20, and Tony used that hindsight to build something incredible, the House Party Protocol. And let's be honest, that finale, 42 suits flying in perfect sync, that wasn't just a fight, it was a flex. The finale, I am Iron Man. Remember how hard they struggled trying to get the gauntlet off Thanos on Titan? Mantis had put him to sleep. Everyone was pulling, but the gauntlet wouldn't come off. Tony didn't forget this. That's why he added stone transfer technology to his own gauntlet. And then that moment came, the Endgame finale. That moment we all cried. While Thanos said, "I am inevitable," and tried to snap his fingers. The stones were gone. Tony had silently transferred the Infinity Stones to his nano gauntlet. Thanos looked on in shock. What did Tony say? "I am Iron Man." Snap. The 15-year journey ended in that moment, everyone. Every mistake, every fall, every loss had prepared Tony for this moment. As they say, the best revenge is massive success. Tony Stark's revenge was saving half the universe. If you've made it this far, you're absolutely awesome. Guess that means the video got your attention. You can support me by hitting that subscribe button down below. It keeps me motivated to create even more content just for you.